Do you listen to your kids?
Nope.
Slang. Urban Dictionary. Oh, I may be in trouble.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, a rando is an unknown person, just a random a stranger who is used for gratuitous sex. Why is that rando staring at my ass?
Once you have sex with a rando, they're not really rando anymore, are they?
I don't think you want to get to know them. If you're there for the gratuity of it.
Yeah, because then they might demand money.
Well, and then they might want more of you, and I don't have time for all that.
No. Let's get our business. Okay. Let's get this transaction squared away, and let me get out of here.
If this is your opening, I think you need to push the button now.
Okay, well.
Do it.
Greetings. This is the Long in the Boot podcast, the podcast coming to you from the heel of the boot of Southwest Louisiana. I am your host, G Long. Sitting across the way is Deb.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Deb. How's it going?
It's going.
All right. Well, good deal.
I'm here. Good, bad, or whatever. I'm here.
Hey, if you'd like to reach the Long in the Boot podcast, the email is longintheboot@gmail.com. The phone number 337-502-9011. And the website, longintheboot.com for all your past podcast needs. And also soon, hopefully, have all the podcasts up on YouTube.
Yeah, because apparently people go there and do that. I keep reading that.
Yeah, get a little, there
I'm not big about the socials, but I do read that. And so I guess eventually
we don't want y'all. We need your.
Hang on, I'm limp. I'm very limp.
Get your volume right, lady.
There.
Get your volume.
You talk about my volume.
Just point the bulbous tip right towards your mouth.
Oh, please. We've been there before. We have been down this road before.
I know, and it just never stops being amusing to me.
Like a child who still laughs at farts.
Farts are funny.
70, it doesn't matter.
Farts are funny. You know what are funnier than just farts? Drive-by farts. Those are the best.
I have been the victim of that recently.
I love that. As a teacher, I really like doing the silent drive-by.
More than a few, and it's all males, and I think it's the result of the election of Donald Trump.
Well, that's how you turn students into detectives. You do the drive-by, and then you turn around and you watch them try to figure out which one of them did it.
Who did it?
Yeah, and it's great. They all turn into little detectives.
You know, the difference, though, 20 years ago, they wouldn't say anything.
True.
Today, they will get up in somebody's face. Did you just do that?
Yeah. Did you fart?
They have no problem.
And no.
Look, I had a young lady who put a tampon in her nose the other day for a nosebleed.
I know, right?
And she, didn't even bat an eye. Miss Long, do you care if I do this? Is it going to stop the bleeding and you don't have to leave? Yeah. Okay, do it.
I don't know. Can I cut your eye with a razor blade like Rocky? Is that cool?
Well, she is feisty. I wouldn't put that past her. She'd be a good little boxer. But so no, they don't care anymore.
No, there's no embarrassment.
No, not really.
These kids don't.
And because they're on camera all the time.
Yeah.
What happens, if I would have allowed cell phones in my room at that moment, her friends would have gotten out their phone and taken pictures of her and posted it.
Yep. In fact, they take so many pictures that the storage issue is becoming a problem.
Yes, it is.
And the power needs for said storage issues is also a problem because the needs of the energy used to store all of this important stuff, we don't have it. So we can't build the storage facilities we need, these massive server farms,
in order to hold all the
stupid pictures,
the rando pictures.
Yes,
that everybody takes.
Correct.
I do periodically go in and delete. I delete from my Google Photos, and I delete from. I try to get rid of that on my phone.
Yeah, I downloaded every photo I've ever taken off of Facebook, or I downloaded it into a single file
after our daughter-in-law's incident.
Yes,
all of that.
And now I'm going to go through them, but there are so many pictures, and the duplicates are ridiculous.
Yes, because you reshare or
Correct.
It comes back. Yes.
And so we're going to get rid of that too. I'm going to clean up my digital footprint.
Your digital footprint. There you go.
I might as well, because at some point I'm going to get arrested for saying something about Trump anyway.
Sure.
So
Not today, though. Not today.
no, not today.
No. Do you know where Rando, it evolved in the 2000s and came from the sicko and weirdo.
Oh, and so it became rando.
So when you call somebody a rando, I guess you're implying that they're creepy.
And we can call, so then I guess.
Wait, who are these randos?
I guess Elon Musk then would be a nazo and a not so. Not so.
Hey, now that arm gesture was just misinterpreted.
Actually, it was. I don't believe he was making the Nazi salute. However, going and speaking at the AFD on a big camera and making the comment that people need to get over the sins of the past and to stop worrying so much about the Holocaust.
Tell the Jews.
That's a little
much.
not
I don't
terrific.
think they're ever going to get over that one. Just forget about it.
Get over it. Come on.
What did in the words of Hillary Clinton, what difference does it make now?
Yeah. And she was just talking about the death of a few people that she
at
screwed over.
Benghazi, yeah. And the optics on that, that may have lost her the election ultimately. Because we like little sound bites.
Well,
and that
her
is
personality.
But add that to the.
And then she called Republicans deplorables. She made a lot of faux pas, and in fact, she made so many faux pas that it was a 5-pas. It's been a weird week.
It has been a weird week.
I don't know if you people are aware of this, but it snowed earlier this week.
It did. We struggled. We struggled. And,
we struggled so hard.
Originally, we were going to have the third deepest snow, but after some measurement adjustments, we've moved up. We beat the 1960 measurement of 4 point.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it was 5. We are now at 5.5 inches. I think we got more than that up here.
So basically, your average white man. Is what we're saying.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was trying to be better than that because I've got the Urban Dictionary.
Oh no, I'm willing to sink into
and this is just like I can't even read this on the air.
In fact, maybe today's the day I'll just sink down into the iniquity of
the den of iniquity. No, so at 1895, they quoted that when the whole prospect of a storm was coming, it was like, no, there is no way.
I figured that somebody just faked it, piled it up, and it turns out, no, it was actually 22 inches of snow.
And it was the entire Gulf Coast.
And do you know what caused it? Trump.
In 1895. Well, he is pretty damn old. All right. And you know how rich people can live so long.
Actually, even Galveston Island had 18 inches of snow.
Yes. There were some significant amounts in the nearby areas. It did result in a significant cattle kill in streets of Beaumont. They said, in quotes, there were piles of them in the streets.
Piles of dead cows.
Dead cows. It was, shocking.
I'm actually curious, and I really want to know, and we'll never find out probably, but how many houses and buildings collapsed from the sheer weight of snow?
The Gulf Coast, our buildings aren't built for that.
Well, no, you don't need it. In fact, I was kind of concerned at first just because
our own.
I did a little research, and it turns out for those of you who live in mobile homes, most likely your mobile home is a zone 1, sometimes zone 2. Our daughter's is a zone 2, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But zone 1, the roof rating for a zone 1 is only 20 pounds per square inch. And a foot of wet snow blows that out of the water.
But that was our saving grace.
It was a very light, fluffy snow.
It was fluffy.
It packed really well.
It was fun snow for a day.
Perfect snow for fun.
It hung around more than a day.
And I got to say, seeing all the pictures of the kids who never had snow,
they were delightful.
And I had kids at school. Mr. Long, did you build a snowman? I was like, I've built untold countless snowmen. I grew up with snow.
I've
built Trump. I've got Trump derangement syndrome. I built snow forts, snow igloos. I once built a cave into the side of a hill with a lot of snow, and then the entire side just came down on top of me. And I thought,
avalanche.
I was a little kid, and I thought I was going to die. I could not get up. I couldn't move. I had to just wiggle, and I kept wiggling and wiggling until I had enough room to start digging with my hands and got out. But I was terrified.
I'm sure that is a terrifying feeling. Anytime being suffocated is always a horrible.
Oh yeah, and I still have that issue. I do not like tight spaces.
So the Gulf Coast snowstorm of 1895 left up to 30 inches of snow in and around Beaumont. So no wonder those cows were dying, and they were in the streets because they didn't know where the lines were. They just kind of just wandered about, and they were cold, and their fur coat or their leather coats weren't enough.
Yeah.
New Orleans had 8.5 inches. I think they got more than that this time around. Temperatures in the teens they had a blizzard.
Yeah,
they had a damn
and it looked
blizzard.
amazing. The coldest, by the way, the cold record was 5 years later.
Yeah,
in 1899 they got or 4 years later they got hammered with the coldest temperatures
they've ever had.
So yeah, I guess winter used to be worse.
We're about to thaw, and then we're gonna get back to.
No, we're thawed, and now we're gonna get soggy.
We're gonna get wet. Yeah, but we can handle that.
Yeah,
we handle the water. I don't know if California is going to be able to handle all their rain now that they've had all these fires.
Right.
That's going to be a whole different thing. But, if we get rid of FEMA, everybody will be better
Speaking
off.
of fires and how this kind of stuff goes, I was doing some research on the fires in Hawaii.
Okay.
And the fires in Hawaii that happened, everybody should remember that, I would think, maybe.
Maui
but it was, I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was in Hawaii.
How soon we forget.
Well, it was on an island.
Yes, it
there.
was.
Did I narrow it down for you? But all the houses that were destroyed in that fire, only 3 have been rebuilt because people came in and
purchased the land,
bought up the land.
And now they're going to create a resort.
And so basically that's what's going to happen in California. And I was reading how a lot of the people.
It was already a wealthy area, a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
Not all of it, but a lot of it.
Well, but the Bel Air fires of the 1960s are why other areas around further out grew so fast, including the Palisades.
Oh, Palisades, yeah.
And so what's happened is every time there have been these big, massive fires in California,
a
lot of people don't go back.
Well, I know.
They go to somewhere else because
it's a trauma.
Well, it's your kids. Your kids have to go to school, and the schools are gone.
And it's going to take a while. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it takes a while to build a school,
and you need jobs.
And in California, they're already talking about the regulations that all the regulations you have to go through to build anything.
Yes.
Are just crazy compared to what they were in the 1960s.
Oh, I can imagine now,
so
yeah.
Just getting a new house built, even if you're insured, even if your house was insured for its actual value, rebuilding it will cost at least more. Half again.
And if you get rid of all the workers.
Yeah, and if we deport all of the undocumented construction workers,
another layer to
it makes
the level
it really
of
fun.
Shit that everybody's having to go through.
Again, somebody once said, "Beware of living in interesting times." We live in interesting times.
Oh, it's always been like that, don't you think?
And
every generation, every era has strange things that they've never seen before. Historic events. We're living in historic times. And in 20 years, some of them will be remembered, and others will just be
gone. The big red button is back in the Oval Office.
Yes.
The big red button that the president pushes to get his Diet Coke. That's right. He has a button, a Diet Coke button.
To bring that back.
Yes.
All right.
And somehow it hasn't eaten a hole in his stomach lining, but he sucks them down, apparently.
No. Well, it gives you that caffeine jolt and that fake sugar and whatever. I
something
know.
keeps him going.
Something keeps it going.
I don't know how he has that kind of energy. I really don't. For as old as he is.
It's biblical.
Biblical? Is it?
I don't know. I'm just saying shit. Because I have no fear. Yeah. You know what? Speaking of fear, that was my word of the week that I learned the other day. A student asked for a synonym for something. Fear? Yeah, and since they didn't have any laptop out and they couldn't use their cell phones, I went to the board and Googled it at the board, and one word came up in the list at the dictionary that none of us had really seen before. And what is that, Mrs. Long? And the word was allodoxophobia.
Hey, that sounds fun.
I think we need a teaching moment here. Let's go find out what allodoxophobia is. So the word itself, allo means, from the Greek, means different. Dox means opinion. And, of course, phobos, god of fear. Greek god of fear. Fear of opinions. So the word is considered...
it's fear of other people's opinions.
Well, it's
not forming them.
Well, no, because you have two extremes of this. You have doxophobia, and then you have allodoxophobia.
Right, but one is expressing opinions. That's the simple one.
Yes.
Doxophobia.
Doxophobia, fear of expressing your own opinion because you've been shot down. Usually teachers and parents tend to do this to young kids, and then they just get to where they don't express their opinions.
But that's not the one.
No.
Actually, I think, and this is what's kind of fun, you would think that allodoxophobia, the fear of hearing other people's opinions, I think that comes first and pressures people into developing doxophobia, fear of expressing their own opinions.
Their own opinions.
And I think that's happening more and more today.
Well, that was because we had a conversation in that class because they were a good group and they took it. They went with me. You know, some classes won't go with you when you pull up stuff like that. And this class was more than willing to delve into it because it's a social phobia, right?
Yeah.
You have past events that have made you sensitive to all of that. Media can also trigger the fear of opinion phobia. You have too much access to materials, prints, graphic, TV, social media. It just causes extreme panic. And I think there's just the sheer vast quantity that it becomes, you don't know what to think anymore. So you're afraid to hear other opinions if they go against yours, or you're afraid to share yours because you don't know what people are going to say. It's this fear of judgment kind of thing if it's doxophobia.
Right.
Did you see the list of things that let you know that you actually have a problem? Sweaty palms, rapid heart rate, shallow breathing. You get sick to your stomach. You feel angry when an opinion is expressed, even if it's good or bad. You're constantly in fight or flight response, and you want to avoid all situations where an opinion might be expressed.
You know where you see this a lot is TikTok.
Well,
these
you were talking about that, the algorithms in TikTok, how different they are from all of the other socials where they want controversy and they want people to. Yeah,
but the way Americans engage, first of all, I have to go back a little bit. TikTok, I have learned, was based on this idea that it exists in China, which is called social shopping.
Social shopping, yes.
Which we sort of used to do.
That was on my list.
Well, we sort of do that. Or we used to do that with malls. Malls used to sort of be, for a short while, a place for social shopping.
Well, sure.
Where you would go meet up with your friends and you would just go through the stores and just look at stuff and occasionally buy stuff.
And you meet your friends there. You go to the theater. You go to
and your friends encourage you to buy things.
You go
to
the food court. You sit around.
That's apparently very popular in China. We've gotten away from that. We don't really have malls the way we used to.
We have the media. We sit here and shop on our computers.
So when they created the social media platforms with the intention of advertising, that was the only reason they exist.
Wait, what? The Chinese were advertising?
Us.
Oh, okay.
We decided that the way you get people to engage is to basically aim at getting an opinion out of somebody, and then when somebody expresses another opinion that's different, making sure that everybody sees those opinions, creating a conflict.
Yeah.
The conflict draws more eyeballs.
And then you get this segment of the population who like to troll. Like they don't say anything at all during normal posts.
For instance, and a good example is, and I'm going to associate it with a school fight. Used to be when a school fight would break out, if there were seniors around, a lot of times they would break up the fight immediately. They would grab the two people fighting and make them cool off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today that does not happen. A fight breaks out. Everybody encourages it. And in fact, more people show up with their phones
and get their phones
and try to record it.
Because phones are not allowed in school, but they do still have their phones.
We still fight it constantly.
It's not coming out in my classroom though. That one is, but they can have it in the early morning. So they do have them. So so all the phones come out.
Oh yeah. And so on social media in America, they want the conflict. That draws eyeballs, which means more chances of advertising to those eyeballs and creating
their own brand.
TikTok is different. TikTok gives you what you want.
So their algorithm is geared
towards if you like, let's say, Birkenstock shoes, you're going to get all kinds of other people.
I still get that on Facebook. All my shoes.
But for the shopping side of things.
Okay.
But like if you express an opinion about Donald Trump, good or bad, you're not going to see the opposite on TikTok very often. Not like on Facebook where everybody will go, you're an idiot. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. Yeah. There's somebody out there that's more than willing to call you an idiot. Yes. And that's fine. But with TikTok, they don't want that conflict. Their algorithm was built differently.
Okay.
And TikTok is more and more becoming a shopping platform. The TikTok store.
Hence the content creators
Right.
who are showing you the way they live.
So when they passed the law to ban TikTok because of its ability to get information from consumers, even though everybody else
our
can do
data
it too.
is already out there, so most kids are the same way. Why do they
Temu
care?
uses the same algorithm as TikTok, but Temu got a carve out because it's a store.
Not just a social site. Yeah,
Right.
you're not having conversations with people.
So when they went to argue the TikTok decision at the Supreme Court, the TikTok lawyers tried to use free speech as their basis.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good argument.
Well, they lost.
Yeah,
They should have used the shopping experience
as the
the basis. It's business.
Well,
because
because
Temu already got the carve out. So they could have said, look, you gave these people a carve out. We deserve the same carve out.
And really what our people are doing on TikTok is they're selling things to each other. They're talking about the stuff.
Yeah.
They're selling their brand. They're creating content and they're pushing it and they're consumers.
And I don't think it's a national security issue simply because
Our stuff is already out there.
our stuff is already out there, and there's nothing that China has that
That
Google doesn't have,
Yeah.
that Facebook doesn't have, that Temu doesn't have.
Well, like Jon Stewart made it that great point on Martin Luther King Day episode where he said, these six men,
Yes.
control
these six
all-
men who all look like Lex Luthor,
Yes.
except for Elon Musk. They
No,
control.
he's the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I see.
but they control 20% of the world's wealth.
I've seen that man with
1/5
1/5 exactly.
of the world's wealth is controlled by these 5 or 6 men,
Yes.
which is a little scary.
Yeah, see, you gone limp too.
Yeah, it did. It moved.
I know.
It just did it.
I
saw
just
it.
watched it go, oh,
My microphone went flaccid.
because you were talking about Elon Musk.
Yeah, it just immediately
That
went
was what I was
flaccid.
going to say. I've seen that man with his shirt off way too many
it's
times.
gross.
I'd rather see Putin with his shirt off than
Now,
Musk.
I also found it funny that lack of self-esteem for
For the
symptom of
phobia? Yeah.
fear of opinions. A lot of this stuff, we've seen it, and we didn't really realize what was going
Well,
on.
that's what
Think about the people at colleges when we had the cancel culture happening, in which, by the way, Donald Trump has canceled. Cancel culture has been canceled.
Yes, it has. That's why they're firing all those DEI hires and it's turning into it is a circus.
When somebody would come to the college that was going to speak, you'd see all these kids coming out saying that speech is violence.
Mm-hmm.
They consider that any speech that they don't agree with is somehow inherently violent.
Well, isn't that what he did in the church?
Who?
Donald Trump. He
considered what the
thought
bishop
she was
said to him,
insightful
and said that she and the church should have to issue an apology to the American public, which is nonsense.
yes.
What she said it to him. What he was upset about was that she made it personal.
That she used his title and his name.
I would say as a person, he's the president. And I realized that she could address him because he was standing there. But I think that she should not have made it personal and had basically made it a plea.
Tell a parable.
Tell a parable, tell a story, tell the congregation at large.
Yes.
But don't look directly at the president and then say, Mr. President, you need to have mercy. Yeah. That's not appropriate.
I think she would have gotten less flack if she had done it that way. Do you know what the number one phobia is in the world? Number one of all fears that actually cause
public speaking.
No.
Oh.
Arachnophobia.
Really?
Spiders.
Spiders? In the world?
Yes, in the world.
Most of the world lives with them. They don't even have houses.
Yes, but I'm telling you, because the allodoxophobia and doxophobia are fairly uncommon.
Public speaking has to be up there at the top.
Oh, I don't care. I'll say.
Oh, I know.
I would get up and talk to anybody in a group.
But that's because you're an older adult. A lot of young people have it because they're just they lack self-esteem.
Clearly, it was. I don't know that it's a self-esteem issue. I don't know.
But even opinions that cause conflict or cause one to think. I have noticed more and more that young people don't want that. They're terrified of conflict. That was my
point about the rarity of this supposed phobia, because they're not really getting diagnosed. Nobody's going in and saying it's anxiety. That's what they're saying.
Right.
There's no label of allodoxophobia and doxophobia because they just are anxious. and
Yeah.
they're taking medication because, pharmaceuticals.
Well, pharmaceuticals.
Do you want to know what the number one rarest phobia in the world is? Rarest.
Rarest.
Yes.
Oh, God. I can't even imagine.
I can't say it. And it starts with like arachnobaturiophobia.
Oh, my Lord.
It's the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth.
And what guy has that phobia?
I don't.
There's one guy somewhere. One guy.
Yeah. Fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. Is that not strange?
Oh. Actually, it's a fear. It's a fear. A common fear that dogs have when living with sick owners.
All right. See, I wasn't going to say anything.
I couldn't help it. I had to.
I wouldn't do it. Do you know there's a banana phobia too? Intense and irrational fear of bananas.
Well, you can be stabbed by a banana. I saw Monty Python training people how to defend themselves.
That's
from a
what
banana.
I thought when I read this. The elongated and edible fruit comes in different colors, but most commonly yellow. Phobos, fear of.
What do you mean it comes in different colors? Green to yellow.
I don't know. I'm just reading.
Sometimes they can be black, but then that's way beyond yellow.
The ones that I threw in the backyard that are still hanging in the trees.
Still hanging out in the trees.
There are 2 bananas in my tree.
That's right.
So if you come to there are 2 bananas back there. They've been back there for several weeks. They went through the freeze and the snow.
I expected them to boomerang right back at you.
They did not come back.
They're shaped like a boomerang.
Lodged in the branch of the tree, and they're still hanging up there. Now I've read on my gardening sites that the insects love that. So throw your bananas out into the trees, people.
There you go.
Do it. Okay, are we done with the phobias? I was having fun.
Well, the fear of opinions thing, I think, is going to get worse because
I do believe that.
As more and more people express opinions, in case we've all forgotten, when Trump was president last time, on Facebook at least, it turned into this huge thing where it got very ugly on both sides.
The election, then the election.
And the problem is both sides think they're right.
Oh, absolutely.
And I personally think that, first of all, as I've never made any bones about it, I do not like Trump, the man.
Yes. And I don't like extremism on either
But I haven't
side.
liked him since I first saw him. It is an opinion that has been with me since I was in my 20s minimum, maybe even earlier than that. And especially after I read an interview with him, this goes way back, in Playboy magazine.
Did you not already say all this?
Oh, yeah.
We already talked about
but I don't want people to think it's because of the politics that I don't like him.
No.
That's actually not it.
Again, any form of extremism is not going to be helpful.
Right.
We've got this battle between the head and heart kind of thing happening, and you still have to be compassionate.
Yes.
And be practical. Can't you do both things?
But I don't think there's a problem with criticizing policy.
No, because if the policy doesn't work, our border control, our border rules,
have been
broken.
They have been
for some time now.
But at the same time, fix that. Don't just start shipping people out, especially if we need them. That's going to be the issue. The one the other day was the Puerto Rican guy who just got swept up in this thing. And at the last minute, somebody said, hey, he's an American. And they released him. But they were going to send him away.
Yeah.
And they were going to send him to Guatemala.
Oh, Lord. That's not where he was.
He's Puerto Rican. He's a citizen by virtue of birth. And speaking of that, birthright citizenship is on deck. I want to correct a lie. This is a lie. Maybe it's just a mistake on Trump's part.
Okay.
But he keeps saying, and I've heard him now say it in 3 different speeches, that the United States is the only country in the world that has birthright citizenship. And that is true if you don't count California, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Ecuador, Venezuela, and the list goes on.
Well, California is not a country.
No, birthright citizenship.
Yeah, but you said countries, and then you listed California.
I said, I'm sorry, Canada.
Oh,
CA.
Okay.
My mistake. My brain went California. Oh, no, Canada.
Now they may soon be their own country. I did see that in
California wants to become independent.
Become their own. Have at it, guys.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
You're going to need federal funds pretty quick.
Okay,
But anyway, so most of the Western Hemisphere has birthright citizenship. It's not just the United States. So can we put that to bed? Second of all,
no, apparently it's going to be an executive order and it's just going to happen.
Well, no, it's already been put on hold by a judge. It's going to the Supreme Court.
Okay,
That's where it's going to go.
As it should. Everything should be challenged.
But what will the Supreme Court say? That's actually something that I'm kind of curious about.
We'll have to see.
But even more fun than that with the immigration situation is Mississippi.
Oh, is Mississippi fun?
No.
What's so fun about Mississippi?
Well, they've got a bill currently running through their Congress that would create a bounty hunter program to hunt undocumented migrants.
Well, wait, are these the ones who have committed crimes? If you have come to this
No, this is just for undocumented migrants.
How about we start with the ones who have actually committed a crime?
But then how would people make $1,000 for every illegal they catch?
Oh, holy shit.
This is going to be a real popular program.
That's a good welfare program right there.
And
that's
so,
going to vigilantism.
You know what?
Not gonna be
I'll
the
go
answer.
across the border and drag somebody back to Mississippi just so I can turn them in.
No, you won't, because you're a decent human being.
A new bill in Mississippi, if passed, would create a bounty hunting program to hunt down undocumented migrants. House Bill 1484 would create the Mississippi Illegal Alien Certified Bounty Hunter Program.
Is this 1860? What?
The two men who sponsored it say it fits with the immigration policies of President Donald Trump.
No, this is, what did he call it the other day? Trump's government.
Yep.
Trump's government.
This legislation is about keeping Mississippi communities safe. We've seen firsthand the danger posed by bad actors and violent criminals who enter this country illegally and take innocent lives, like the life of Laken Riley, who was the poster child of.
I know the story.
And God rest her soul. President Trump's administration has made it clear that deporting illegal immigrants is a priority, and we are proud to do our part here in Mississippi to support this agenda.
What about citizens who commit horrific crimes? Can we deport them somewhere else?
According to the legislation, it would offer $1,000 to registered bounty hunters for each successful deportation.
So you just need to go in and register. Okay, so how about, is this like the Old West, dead or alive? Do we get different sums
it gets
based
better.
on? Oh, holy.
The text also defines the crime of trespass by an illegal alien. That means that they're anywhere.
Yeah, because they're trespassing because they're not.
As a felony in which the authorized term of imprisonment shall be life in prison without eligibility of probation, parole, or release, except by act of the governor or natural death.
Okay, in our prisons or in a prison of our choosing somewhere else?
No, in Mississippi.
They're going to put them in prison for life in Mississippi? Why would they pay for that?
Unless they get deported.
Okay. Yeah, that's convoluted. I'm done. They haven't passed it yet. If they pass that, then maybe we revisit that topic. But right now it sounds like pie in the sky.
Well, and this is where
can Mississippi afford all of that?
This is the part I can't figure out.
They can't afford the bounty. They can't afford to put them in prison for life.
Mississippi estimates there are 22,000 undocumented illegals in the state.
Well, then give one guy $22,000.
This is what they say. These 22,000 people have cost the state of Mississippi. $25 million for K through 12 education, $77 million for health care.
Well, then why do we
and $1.7 million for incarceration. How did 22,000 people spend that much money?
Well, and if I've educated them in my state and I've fed them and cared for their health, why did they end up in prison? Or aren't they contributing citizens? Maybe the majority of them should be citizens contributing to the economy of Mississippi, shouldn't they? If I spend as a state that much money on education, health care, food, all of those things for that group of people, wouldn't they now be citizens actually contributing?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how.
And if they're
77 million.
If they're undocumented, how do they know that they have 22,000 of them?
Exactly.
I got a lot of questions.
Exactly, but this is Mississippi,
so I guess they've
where
been enrolled in school, so that's part of the count. Okay, stop.
Wait.
No, please.
I got to finish.
No.
I got to finish because the guy who sponsored this legislation is so full of shit that I can't stand it.
But I'm not having fun on this date anymore. Take me somewhere else.
When President Trump took office this week, he immediately recognized the emergency at Mississippi's borders, rolling out executive orders to combat illegal immigration. This legislation builds upon that foundation. Did Trump mention Mississippi's borders? In which country does Mississippi border?
Louisiana.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but wait, Alabama on the other side.
I don't know.
And, of course, to the south, the Gulf of America.
We all border the Gulf of America here.
So, yeah, we got that going on.
That's delightful.
Oh, it's so
beautiful.
funny.
Just as it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Okay, so yeah. I don't know what else to say. There's so much there. That's kind of why I hope to.
Well, the
leave all that
DEI
topic
stuff
behind.
is what I've been seeing a lot, and I've only got one story on that, but
okay,
we have to do it
today.
Well, you're the one that posted a thing this week about women.
Oh,
getting kind of screwed over in the future.
Oh yeah,
the future's now, baby.
The slippery slope that we are on. I mean, we knew when Roe versus Wade got, when that abortion issue got shipped back to the states, you could kind of see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And now here we are in the manscape of America, in the alpha male.
Well, there is a group
world.
called the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, and what the Military Religious Freedom Foundation is basically to be able to practice religion or non-religion while in the military.
Practice or not practice.
Correct.
Freedom to do either.
And so we now have, of course, Hegseth as our Secretary of Defense, the most ill-prepared man to have ever held the office, I believe. And anyway, he's made it clear that he really doesn't like women in the military, and he especially doesn't like them in combat. And in fact, had once written that women should be home having babies, not serving in the military, yes, as does the pastor of his church. Anyway, so a female fighter pilot who asked to remain nameless has told the MRFF, again, Military Religious Freedom Foundation, that her application to Top Gun school had been terminated by her ecstatic commander for one reason, that she was female.
So she had been accepted,
she said,
until Trump was elected?
She was in line, basically. Okay. He smiled as he spoke to me and then rationalized this decision because women won't ever be in combat again, and I should not be taking a male naval aviator's place. Now, she's already a flyer, but she wanted to go to Top Gun school. Mm-hmm. He also unveiled his new 10 Commandments, laying out in detail his agenda.
Wait, who? The Hegseth?
No, this is her commander, who she's not naming because she can't. She's in the military.
She's, yes, rightfully afraid.
She wrote, he told all of us gathered at the all hands on deck meeting that per the direct order of our new commander-in-chief, there would be no more DEI poison under his command in our unit nor at our installation. He then presented us via PowerPoint with his new 10 Commandments, as he called them, which went into effect immediately. We will no longer celebrate Black History Month. We will no more celebrate Women's History Month or Hispanic History Month. There will be no more recognition of LGBTQ. There will be zero talk of transsexuals in the military because they do not exist any more than leprechauns. Female personnel will participate in female pursuits only for sports teams on his military installation. These include badminton, bowling, tennis, and golf.
That's what women are allowed to do?
Female military personnel will no longer be allowed to participate on installation teams for rugby, for basketball, for football, or mixed martial arts. They may run track but shall not participate in field events. No more holiday parties, as all events will be designated as Christmas parties during the end of the year season. And finally, Bible studies in the workplace will be highly encouraged, though no one can be forced to attend.
But you're by nature of what you're doing, they're forced to attend.
Yep.
Because otherwise they will be persecuted.
Of course.
Well, isn't this just the opposite extreme of DEI? The woke bullshit that everybody said they voted against because they were being too extremist, and they were. There was some crazy crap going on. This is the other extreme. That's not okay.
So there you go.
We are not going back in history. Fuck that bullshit. We're not going back.
And then I read an interesting article about how in the 80s, the military learned that women might actually be better fighter pilots in many cases than men because of reaction time and ability to withstand, this is weird, ability to withstand G-forces. Apparently women, and here's the best part, stocky women. It said that stocky, short women were actually better at dealing with this than men.
Women are built to push a baby out. That's pretty impressive pressure inside. So maybe that has something to.
And like women, and we've now learned from the Olympics that women actually are probably better shooters when competing in that level than men are.
They make good welders.
So like you don't need men and women's shooting competitions because they can all shoot.
Because they can. That's it.
Same with pool, like billiards. Women are amazing billiards players and have often been better than men.
Good card players. There are many areas where there's a level playing field for men versus women. And then there are many that are not level playing fields because of the design of a woman's body or the strength and the physicality. And again, reason. Where is the damn logic and reason?
Oh, we don't have that.
No,
anymore.
We don't have that. And that was the complaint when they were pushing their woke agenda for the last 20 years.
And I blame a lot of what's going on now on Democrats.
Yes.
Because you pushed too far.
Well, and the things that you were pushing in many cases. Now, there have been a buttload of great things that have come out of all of that. There, equality and justice.
But pushing men into women's sports, what was that about?
Yeah, that didn't.
Oh, they're not men anymore. They're women. No, they're still physically men.
Use your logic.
Use your logic, you liberal freaks.
So now we have a vindictive.
So this is the problem. Used to be you had a pendulum. And it would swing back and forth.
We've talked many times
gently.
about it.
Now the pendulum has to swing so far over that it bangs into the side of the clock.
And then when this group gets angry, then we go to the other side. But we never stop directly in the middle.
And now we've turned our government.
We don't talk to each other because we're scared to share opinions.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah. Scared to hear opinions.
Now we have a situation where our government isn't even functioning properly because the three branches of government are not the three equal branches of government.
No, they're not equal.
Well, they are. They would be, but they gave away all their power.
Yes, executive is in charge.
The executive is in charge. So now every 4 years or every 8 or whatever, we're going to have the first month of basically undoing the previous guy's stuff.
And
because it's all presidential orders.
As a person who's been in education for 25 years, and we see a very similar thing happen, every 4 or 5 years we have to get a whole new curriculum.
New computer programs.
We have to get new programs. Everything has to change for the new administration, and it's happening right now. We need new testing. We need new transparency. Everything has to change to fit the new administration.
Now, I will say Trump's pick for Secretary of Education, well, there's a winner.
You know what? She has won at life, dear. I don't know. She has definitely won at life.
Well, yeah, she may have won at life by marrying Vince McMahon.
She had to sleep.
with Vince McMahon.
Okay, I do see that as a negative, but hey.
But hey, she was once appointed to a school board in Connecticut after lying about her degree, but not a problem because she's not really there for any reason other than to screw it up enough to shut it down.
No, we've established this. She's a businesswoman. This is a business. The federal government is a business.
And they don't like public education.
Yeah, and they don't like it. And our state doesn't like public education.
And what I love is the federal government is so...
Well, they're going
public education doesn't work, so we're going to stop it.
They're going to close down the Department of Education federally, and they're going to send block grants to the states, and the states are going to
give them to private schools
and do what they want to do.
So that businessmen can be in charge of education.
It depends on the state that you're in.
It'll be businessmen making money.
Yes.
Because that's what this is all about.
And if it's not trickling down, I think the masses will get eventually upset.
Yeah, how'd that trickling down thing work?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Ask Ronald Reagan.
Go look at the go look at pay rates. And you'll see the difference. In the late 1960s, guy on minimum wage could actually have a place to live and a car. He could make it.
Well, that's the thing, though. In the 60s and 70s, the wife stayed home. They only needed one car. Yeah. We had very few bills. You had just the general bills. Today we have
minimum wage won't do anything.
Subscriptions everywhere. Everybody has to have 2 cars. The wife has to work. Some people have to work 2 jobs, and their spouse has to work 2 jobs. You still got to take care of
an hour of minimum wage today. You can buy 2 dozen eggs.
Oh, let's not even talk about egg prices. Now we've got...
No, they're going to come down.
Wait, no, they're not. I saw a thing this morning.
No, Trump's going to make them come down.
Okay. Shortest war in history.
Shortest war in... I know about that.
Of course you do. Tell me. Come on, Jeopardy.
It's the...
38 minutes. Lasted 38 minutes.
Was it a Japanese thing?
No.
No,
it's the Brits. You know it's the Brits. They went to war with Zanzibar.
Is that the one?
That's it. England and Zanzibar. Shortest war in history, 38 minutes.
Huh.
Longest war in history?
I don't know. Aren't we still in it?
335 years. Netherlands and the Isles of Sicily. No one was killed during the entire 335 years.
Well, then they weren't doing it right.
They didn't know how to war.
They didn't
What's
know how to
wrong
war
with
properly.
you people? You need to war better.
Speaking of war.
Oh, no.
Speaking of war, wait a minute. I gotta read something here.
Do you have strange and random facts? I told you it's Rando episode.
Well, I have a fun thing. Let's see. Wait a minute. There we go. Here, let me. Oh, are they not going to give it to me now? Oh, nothing makes me madder. They've put it behind a paywall.
Oh, okay.
So I can't.
You want me to keep going with my strange and weird facts? My rando facts?
You may have to.
World War II, Great Dane named Juliana was awarded the Blue Cross Medal.
Oh, yeah?
She extinguished a bomb by peeing on it.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Isn't that pretty cool? Oh, you know what? While I'm doing this, why don't you Google how dogs are going to save wine?
Dogs.
How dogs are going to save the wine industry. Alexander the Great was accidentally buried alive. He suffered from a neurological disorder. He had Guillain-Barré syndrome. They believe that when he died, he was actually just paralyzed and mentally aware.
That's pretty funny.
So they think they just made a mistake.
You talking about the dogs that can smell out the bugs?
Yes, in the wine fields. What kind of dog was it specifically? This is a modern story.
A pair of English Springer Spaniels called Zinni and Sauvy B have been recruited to hunt down vineyard-destroying bugs in California.
Oh, well, if they survive the fire.
If they survive the fire.
I guess.
The dog's acute sense of smell is being used to detect mealybugs, which infect grapevines with a killer virus called leaf roll 3. That sounds cool. A study in the Lodi wine region. Oh, stuck here in Lodi again.
Yeah.
Known for its fine Zinfandel and Cabernet Sauvignon, found the pups sniffed out leaf roll infections 93% of the time and had a 97% detection rate for mealybugs. It is hoped that animals and their offspring, especially dogs, could replace pesticides in the long term and protect valuable crops from decimation.
All right.
So the canines are rewarded by play. It's a game to them. So the more they do it, the more rewards they get, and so the more they want to do it. And so they're detecting these little mealybugs.
Oh, interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. I told you. I told you that story last week.
And I like that.
I saved it, but I didn't know where it was. Napoleon Bonaparte was once attacked by a raging horde of bunnies.
Well, he should be.
He had requested a rabbit hunt be arranged for him and his men.
A killer rabbit? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not a. No, this is a horde.
A horde of killer rabbits.
When the rabbits were released from their
cages. If I had known about this story, I could have had Tim. You may call me Tim.
Okay, well, sorry, I didn't know. When the rabbits were released from their cages, I anticipate that they had been agitated quite severely. The bunnies charged Bonaparte and his men in an unstoppable onslaught. It does not say if there were any injuries.
God, I hope there were.
I hope there were. I hope
really
it was just crazy. Ketchup used to be medicine in the 1830s. It was a cure for an upset stomach.
Ketchup?
Yeah. It wasn't even turned into a condiment until late in the 19th century.
Well, that's kind of cool, though. You got to admit.
Yeah. It calmed the belly.
Calmed the belly.
Yeah.
So this Greenland thing has taken on a mind of its own. It's really cool.
Oh, you've got the EU purchase of Greenland, which it may turn into a war.
Well, you've got the EU talking about sending EU troops to Greenland because it's Denmark's property.
Well, Donald wants to send the IRS agents newly hired to the border. So.
But it reminds me of something in the 20th century, of course, which was, for you kids who don't know about history, at one point early on before World War II, Herr Hitler, the fancy Führer,
yes.
he decided he wanted this section of Czechoslovakia called the Sudetenland because he said it was full of Germans who wanted to belong to Germany.
Wanted to be Germans.
And he demanded it. And, of course, Czechoslovakia, whose territory it was like, no. And so now I've gotten to where when you read these articles about Denmark and Greenland, it's fun to substitute Sudetenland for Greenland and Denmark or Czechoslovakia for Denmark. So you can get things like Speaking to the prime minister, Mr. Trump insisted he wanted the United States to take over the Sudetenland, the massive and autonomous Czechoslovakian area that occupies a strategic part of the ocean. I think it's kind of cool to be able to do that. The prime minister made various suggestions for cooperation, but insisted that the Sudetenland is not for sale.
Oh, you're just inserting.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do this with any story about it, and it begins to sound like 20th century history.
To our history happening, unfolding right now.
So what we need now is for somebody who's not very good at diplomacy to go over or to go to Denmark, or I guess they would have to come here and try to make a deal. We need a third party like Chamberlain to come here and make a deal.
A mediary, a go-between. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, so and Trump is 100% serious about getting Greenland. He absolutely wants it. He says that the Greenlanders want to be Americans or belong to the U.S. They, however, want independence. That's what they're looking for. Which really, that's the way to go about it. If you want Greenland, Trump, then work with the people there. Don't just keep demanding things from Denmark. And but the lady who runs Denmark, the prime minister, she said he got very aggressive on the phone.
Yes, that when she didn't succumb.
So what I'm hoping is that they actually have the phone call. If he was, because here's the thing. You didn't put the phone call out there.
Oh,
so I have no proof that he was aggressive.
No audio, no actual event.
It didn't happen. Proof or it didn't happen.
But we don't even believe the proof anymore because it can all be altered.
I still need proof or I'm not going to believe it. And with Trump, that's how it has to be. Look, if you're going to accuse, because everybody has accused him of everything for years.
Yes.
Nothing sticks because nobody ever actually has proof.
Well, he had to pay a crap ton of money to that woman. So
which one? The one he was accused of sexually assaulting?
Yes.
That was a civil case, though.
Yeah,
she only had to prove 51%. And it was in New York, the trial. And since New York is predominantly by far and away liberal, he didn't have much of a fair shot. I'm just saying. And I don't like the man. I'm pointing this out. I think that's the deal.
Because it would be like saying, I hate Donald Trump, so everything he does is stupid. Well, actually, some of the things he's trying to do are not stupid.
There's a few things
that actually
getting
make
our
sense.
Border in order,
under control,
not making us isolationists, but getting our border. The tariff thing, I have a real problem with because I think that's going to end up costing us more money. Now, down the road, 50, 60 years, maybe it'll benefit us because we'll have manufacturing again.
It'll come back at some point.
But economic rules kind of don't say that.
Well, and we have a difference this time, which is technology.
Yeah, and that's true.
Technology is going to take this. So we can go back and say history has taught us and this is what's going to happen.
And so I see a lot of people.
But we also have a history factor in there, or a technology factor in there. So it's the new industrial revolution, right? We're in it. We're not moving towards it. We're in it. And wherever it goes is going to alter what we understand about the patterns of history.
Yeah. And so my thing is I've seen a lot of people who are on the liberal side of things who don't like Trump are saying, people keep telling me I should give him a chance, but no, I will not forget. Well, here's the thing.
But this is the situation.
This is our country.
Yeah, you're there. You're in it.
I would like him to succeed in making our country better and stronger.
But we're not taking away the rights of women. We're not making them second-class citizens again. I'm not barefoot and pregnant.
Fight the issues that matter and stop trying to make him the boogeyman for all things evil.
Or that he's just getting revenge on everybody.
Yeah, well, he is actually. He's doing
I
a little bit of that.
Well, stop that and get to work on the things that matter.
He fired a bunch of inspector generals. And now that's going to have to go before a court and the Republicans are like freaking out about that one because they're independent. And in fact, most of them were appointed by, get this, Trump. That's the crazy thing. Yes. He appointed them in his first term. But because they spoke out, they didn't speak out against him, but they didn't say anything during Biden's administration, I guess. I don't know. But it just doesn't have a good look. No,
the optics are really bad.
So,
and that's really the problem on both sides of the aisle.
But the Democrats, the first thing they said was, it's a purge. It's a purge. No, he got rid of 12
Well, now
No, 17 now.
We're just now though with the IRS agents and all the DEI people going to get fired, and that whole agency. Are they going to transfer them over to the Doge agency? Or
Doge is not a real thing. That's my other problem.
But it's going to be.
And well, I know. And what's their budget?
I don't know.
Republicans have completely abandoned the idea of the budget.
No, we just keep signing off. We got more. Oh, wait. But we forgot about the income coming in from the tariffs. And from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah. Saudi Arabia's ready to invest.
What, like $60 billion in this country? What are they investing in?
$60 billion.
What are they buying? If you've got somebody investing in your business,
a naval ship.
Land of America is a business. We've established that. What are they buying?
Influence.
Well, then.
Influence.
Are they getting TikTok videos? Do they have subscribers?
No, but next time they need to kill a Turkish journalist, they know they won't get in trouble for it.
I guess
it's influence.
Know. I'm nervous and hopeful, scared and.
Again, we live in interesting times.
We really do.
I'm going to just keep doing my job.
I'm just going to continue
and continue watching this and
speak out into the world with me.
Speak out when I feel like it.
Try to find balance.
But I'm not going to get into life and death arguments over this man because it's not worth it. And I know too many people who support him 100%.
And if I express my opinion on Facebook on my own page, and you demand that I give you, my stories, cite my evidence. You can F off and go find it yourself.
If I express my opinion.
Exactly.
Don't ask me for shit.
It was my opinion. So if you're wondering where your comment went, I deleted it because it was stupid.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, a couple people on Instagram.
But I did not delete the person.
Told me that they got. And I saw it. It's a fake friend request from the Long in the Boot Instagram page, which there
we
isn't
never use. What you know about two old people here is we're not Insta, we're not snapping, we're not Xing.
I'm not snapping. I'm not talking. I'm not ticking. I'm not Xing.
Is enough of my time.
I am putting everything on YouTube though, and I'll start posting them on YouTube if you want to listen to that instead. Tried
and true.
And because hey, why not?
YouTube has helped me do so many things.
Oh yeah,
yes.
I've learned a lot from YouTube. It's practically a universe. You know what? I've learned more from YouTube than Trump University.
Oh, there you go. Go figure. Do something positive. Try to find some balance in your life. Take your joy out there because Lord knows we need it.
And please just go about your day. Hug your kids.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the pictures of the kids playing in the snow, by the way.
You know what? You need to get some of those printed.
It warmed the cockles of my heart.
Me too, because my cockles were warm the whole time.
Even in the subcockle region.
I bought a sauna bed, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's like if you ever wanted to know what it's like to be a baked potato, this thing can do it.
I love it.
It's like an aggressive sleeping bag.
Again, you really need to get your pictures of your kids, your favorite ones, and go ahead and send them off to Walmart and get them printed.
Yes.
Okay. Life lesson. Just get some done.
That's right.
So that your kids have something to look at later in life when
Oh, and back up your computer
when there's no power. Yeah, and back up your computer.
Back up your computer
for the times we have power. All right. We're going to talk to you in 2 weeks again, I assume.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll have our day.
Maybe nothing will happen in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, baby, come on. We're going to have something to talk about. I know it was kind of a rando episode today. I had no central theme.
No, I couldn't come up with a central theme.
I couldn't come up with a main theme.
I was lost.
So wandering.
Fear.
About, but not all.
Fear, I guess.
Not all who wander are lost.
That's true.
Okay.
And I didn't even have a poem or a clip.
No, nothing.
It's terrible.
I had a quote earlier in the week and I can't find it. So here we are.
And, but.
2 T-butt or 1 T-butt?
It is going to snow again on February the 6th.
It is.
I have it on good authority.
11th graders?
Lies. Lies!
Yeah, that's what I said to them.
11th graders, yes.
Yes.
It's going to snow again.
It's
not.
That's just their dream.
We got
to get out 4 days of school out again.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
No. I hope not. I don't want to go later.
I don't want to gain any more weight.
That too.
Yeah, you got to be out.
And and once again, thank you to Kohl's AC and Heat for fixing our heater right before all this horrible stuff happened.
Yes, I didn't
If you've got AC issues or heat issues, call Kohl's in Moss Bluff.
There you go.
There you go. Free advertising.
Happy day, people. Enjoy it.